some work. Now, it will be very surprising to hear other people say or claim that there was no work that was given. It's unfortunate. Now, if you are kicked out, please rejoin, because after every 40 minutes or so, we may be kicked out of the system. Please be kind and join. Now, looking at our yesterday's work that I gave you on the parabola, I'm hoping that you worked on that diligently. So, if you encountered challenges, please, you better communicate so that I know exactly where and how to help you. Is there anyone who encountered challenges on yesterday's work? Great. Now, today we are continuing basing on what we had yesterday. Here you are supposed, we are required, we want to determine the equation of a parabola. Yesterday we were working with the equation of a parabola that was given. But today we want to determine that equation. There are two ways in which you will be expected to determine the equation of a parabola. That is the quadratic function. You will be given the turning point and one other point on the function. You will be, this is one condition. The other one, you will be given 2 points on the function where neither point is the turning point. In this case, you will have to use the simultaneous equation. You remember how we solve the simultaneous equation using method of elimination, substitution. Basically, those were the two methods that we used, right? Now, the general format of a quadratic equation is in the form y is equal to ax squared plus c. We want to look into the first case. Now, determine the equation of the parabola passing through the points 0, 4 and minus 1, 6. What is it that now here we are given 2 points? We want to find the equation. Which passes through these 2 points. First of all, you take each point and substitute into this equation. Let me stop there for a while. Are you all following there? Great. Now, in this case, let us look at 1 point. If we take 0, 4, we know the general format will show that the general format is y is equal to ax squared plus 4. You know that the point 0, 4 is the turning point and the y-intercept. Why at this point do we know that this is the turning point? It's because the x value is 0. If we look into our Cartesian plane, if you remember very well yesterday, we said when x is 0, y is 4. So when x is 0, y is 4. We can have our 4 here. Simply because in grade 10, our turning point will always be on the y-axis. If you get a value of x where the x is 0 and the y is something else, that is our turning point. So from this point, we know that 0, 4 is our turning point, implying that on the turning point, since it is positive, it is going to be, if you substitute, because you remember we said our turning point is the value of c. So in the position of c, you plug in 4. So you have y is equal to ax squared plus 4. Can I stop there for a while? Are you following? Great. Now, we need to substitute, which is the remaining point that is we need to substitute with here. Which is the remaining point? We have point -1, 6. Here it is not very clear, but well, here it must be a 6. We've got -1, 6. These are the points that we have. This is the remaining point. Now, we have to substitute into this equation. What is the value of y? What is the value? Because this one is given in coordinate form. This one is x, this one is x, and this one is y. So in this equation, in the position of y, you plug in 6. Are you seeing it? You plug in 6 there. In the position of x, you have got -1. So here you replace this x with a -1. So it will be -1 squared. Are you still following there? Now -1 squared, what does that give us? -1 times -1. 1. So 1 times a, this will give us an a. So here we've got, after substituting, you are going to get 6 is equal to a plus 4. Since we have got a plus 4, we want to find the value of a. What do you need to do? You transpose this 4 to the other side. So it will be 6 minus 4. Now, 6 minus 4, it is this 2. Are you following? So meaning to say, we have got the equation of the parabola. In this case, where you are given the turning point and the one other point. Let me stop there for a while. Are you following? Any questions there? Huh? Who is that? You can't see it. Huh? Oh, you did not understand or you can't see. Sit here, come here. Now, look here, even if I repeat, and which is the number that you can see? Or I make it this way, wait a bit. Maybe, let me do it this way. Hey, I can't magnify it. Right. Or you want me to start? Yes. Okay, no problem. We want to look, because today we want to find an equation of a parabola or a quadratic function, which is this format, because you remember yesterday we said an equation is the format y is equal to ax squared plus c, where a gives us the shape, whether it is facing up or down. And then these other values. And then the c, we said it is the y-intercept. Are you following now? Now, we want to find the equation of a parabola where you are given, in this case, you are given a turning point and one other point. You are given a turning point and one other point. Now, in order for you to see which one is the turning point, now, in this case, you are given 0, 4 and -1, 6. Which one is the turning point? The turning point, it is that number whose x-coordinate is 0. Which one of the two has the x-coordinate equal to 0? The first one. So we automatically know this is our turning point. So our turning point, it will be along the x-axis is 0, along the y-axis is 4. That is where we have our turning point, right? Now, what you need to do, from this turning point, you can actually say, okay, since C, it is the turning point, you replace the value of C with a 4. So you are saying y is equal to ax squared plus 4. Are you getting it? Because this is the turning point. Now, we are now remaining with this other point. Remaining with this other point, we need to substitute into this equation. The point that we are remaining with, we must substitute here. So in the position of y, here you remember this one is coordinates are given as x, y. That is how coordinates are given, x, y. So meaning to say, what is the value of y here? 6. So in the position of y, we put a 6. What is the value of x here? -1. So in the position of x, you put a -1 like this. As it is, and then you square it. Now, if you say -1 squared, what does that give us? 1. So 1 times a is a plus 4. This is the equation that we have. Now, you transpose this 4. The 4 that we have here, it is adding. When we transfer it to the other side, it passes on subtracting. So you say 6 minus 4, which will give us a 2, which is the one that we have here. Are you following? Now that we have got the value of a is 2. So in our equation, we can actually say, we can confidently write the equation of this one. The equation of this one is y is equal to 2x squared plus 4. That is the equation that we want. Are you following? Great. Any more cries on that? You will be required. Take note. We are going through this once more. Remember, I gave you this one during the lockdown. Do you still remember? Now, because some said they wanted help here and there, that is why I am revisiting it. I am not expecting people in future to say they want us to go through it again. We won't have that time. Right. Now, let me go on to another example. We are on example 2. Determine the equation of the parabola passing through this point and with an x-intercept, a -1. Right. Now, when you look at this one, what point is this one? This one is the turning point because the x value is 0. This one is a turning point. So our general equation is still the same. Y is equal to ax squared plus c. You know that the point 0, 3 is the turning point. And the y-intercept, so meaning to say, you can actually say y is equal to ax squared plus 3. Are you following? Because here, the value of c must be 3, because this is the turning point. Now, we are given, now substitute the remaining point. Which is the remaining point that we have? Let us look at the question. Determine the equation of the parabola going through the point this with the y, with the x-intercept, a -1. Now, if you take the x-intercept, a -1, a negative, is it a -1 or a -1? Sorry? Right. So meaning to say the x-intercept is a -1. They are actually they can write it like this, or they say where the x-intercept is equal to -1. Are we together? Now, the x-intercept of -1, they can write it like this or this. So in coordinate form, this one must give us on the x-intercept, what is the value of y? On the x-intercept, what is the value of y? 0. So here they did not give you the coordinates as we are used to, but they just gave it to say with the x-intercept, -1. It's like this. So from the look of things, you must be able to pick it up and say, okay, in coordinate form, it will give us -1, 0. This is the remaining point that we have. So you take this point and plug it into this equation. What is the value of y? What is the value of y here? 0. So you plug in 0 here. What is the value of x? -1. You put -1 squared. So -1 squared, what does that give us? So we have 0 is equal to 1 times a, which is a plus 3. Are you following? Now, we want to make a the subject of the formula. What is it that we need to do? We transpose this 3 to the other side. So, since it is adding, it will pass on doing what? Subtracting. So, the value of a is this. Now, the whole problem now boils down to y is equal to minus 3x squared plus 3. Are you seeing it? Now, after finding the value of x, y, after finding the value of a and the turning point, always write down your equation like this. Don't end by finding the value of a and this. You must write down the equation. In grade 10, these are the types of equations that we have. Normally, we will have an equation like a x squared plus c. We are going to start from here next year in grade 11, but we need to have a firm and concrete understanding of what we're talking about. Any more cries in this? Jolisha, are you clear? Hello? Jolisha? Sure. Right? Always check to see if you have been given the y-intercept, which is the turning point. And even the question doesn't explicitly tell you that the given point is an intercept or turning point. Like the one we looked at. In this one, they were not explicit. They just say the x-intercept is -1. They did not give you the point -1, 0. Right? If the x value of a point is equal to 0, the point is the y-intercept, and the turning point of the parabola. If x is 0, the turning point, the y-intercept will be the turning point, and it being the turning point of our parabola. In grade 10, our turning point will always be on the y-axis. Are you clear now? Right. Let me. Today is very brief, right? Today is very easy. The rest of the time you'll be writing the work I will give you. Now let us look at another situation. Case number 2. Given any 2 points, if you are given 2 points of which neither is the y-intercept, you have to use the simultaneous equation in order to determine the equation of the parabola. Right, like in this case, let us look at it. Determine the equation of the parabola passing through the points, -2, -36, 1, -12. Are you seeing it? Right. Now, what is it that we know? Our parabola passes through these 2 points. Since it passes through these 2 points, our equation would be, this one is not very clear there. It's y is equal to ax squared plus c, right? Now we want to look at which point. Let us take the first point. Which point do you want us to use first? We use the first one, right? Which is minus 2 minus 2 minus 36. We need to have our calculators with us. Do you have your calculators with you? Right. What is the value of a y here? What is the value of y here? Minus 36. So here you are going to put minus 30 minus 36, which is equal to, we don't know the value of a, right? What is the value of x? It is negative 2 squared plus c. Let us simplify this. Minus 2 squared. Minus 2 times minus 2, negative 4. Positive 4, you have to be careful. So we have positive 4a plus c is equal to negative 36. Let us call this equation 1. Are you seeing it? Now let us look at the other one. Still, we are using the same equation. We are using the same equation, this one, right? But now, at which point we use the same equation, y is equal to ax squared plus c. Which point are we taking now? At which point? Sorry? 1, negative 12. We follow the same style we did on the first point, right? What is the value of y? Great. What is the value of x? 1 squared plus c. What is our equation there? 1 squared. 1 squared, what's the answer? Huh? A. A plus c. Are you seeing it? This one is equation 2. We have solved equations, simultaneous equations, right? We have solved simultaneous equations. So I want you, for now, I want you to solve those that simultaneous equation. Very fast, I'm giving you just 3 minutes. Work on a rough piece of paper and see what we have there. Let us make it fast, please. Write somewhere, very fast. You remember there were methods that we used, method of elimination and substitution. Work on it using any of those methods to find the value of A and C. Right, it should be done now, right? If you are not yet done, no problem. Let me update this one. Okay, what did you get as the values of A? What was your A? What did you get as your A? And C. Who is done? You're not yet done. Okay, let me give you some few minutes. Or let us work it out together, right? Let us work it out together so that you remember how to solve those. The equations that we have, we've got A plus C, which is equation 2, is equal to negative 12. What was our first equation? Our first equation was 4A plus C, right? It was 4A plus C. 4A plus C, which gave us negative 36. Right, I gave you some few minutes to work on it. Now, which method do you want us to use to solve this simultaneous equation? Substitution. Okay, so which one do you want to substitute in? We say this is equation 1, right? And this is equation. Now, from which one are we going to get our equation 3? From equation 1, right? So we transpose, we say A is equal to minus 12. I want someone to tell me what to write. If you transpose C to the other side, what will it become? Minus C. So you have your equation 3. But this is not the only method that you use, right? Now, what do we do? What did we do? What do we do? We substitute equation 3 into sub 3 into equation 2, right? Into 2. I want someone to tell me what to write. Someone to tell me what to write. Let's go. Yes. It's 4 into minus 12 minus C. Very good. We are replacing this A by 12, negative 12 minus C. Perfect. And this one is giving us plus, which is equal to negative 36. Now, I want someone to remove the brackets for me. 4 times minus 12. Negative 48. Hello? Sorry? Well, negative 12 minus C. Right. Here on equation 3, we made A the subject of the formula, right? Now, wherever, now because we are substituting, you are clear now? Okay, you went on a different one. Right, let us look at this one. Let us start here. This is equation 1, right? This is equation 2. Now, we have decided, now you made A the subject of the formula here. But in our case, we chose, We're running out of time. Please, if you are kicked out of the meeting, rejoin because we are running out of time. You can rejoin and I will readmit you, no problem. Right, we used this equation 1 and decided to make A the subject of the formula. Since we want to leave A alone, we transpose this one. Since it was plus, when it goes to the other side, it will be minus. This is what we have. To find equation, to have equation 3. This equation 3 that we have, this one that we have, it is the one now because we are saying we are substituting 3 into 2. We are substituting this one into 2. In actual fact, we are saying wherever you have an A, put in this one. So in this one, we have got 4A. In the position of this A, that is where we wrote this one. We had an A. Now we have replaced the whole, an A with the whole expression. Are you seeing it? We are using method of substitution. Now we remove, are you clear now? Now we remove brackets. 4 times negative 12 is negative 48, right? 4 times negative C, what's the answer? Negative 4C plus C is equal to negative 36. Now this one is a simple equation. Do you have any like terms here? Which one? Negative 4C plus C, they are like terms. You can simplify them, right? So you have negative 48, negative 48, negative 4C plus C. What's the answer? Be careful. Negative 3C, which is giving us negative 36. Now, do we still have like terms here? Which ones? Negative 48 and negative 36. You decide on where you want to group them. What do you need to do? Do you transpose this one to the other side or C to the other side? Right, so here we remain with negative 3C. Now negative 36, this negative 48, when we pass it on to the other side, what will happen? It will be plus 48. Now we are saying negative 3C, negative 36 plus 48 is just the same as 48 minus 36. What's the answer? 12. Are you following? So have we got the answer? Is that the value of C? What is the value of C? You divide by negative 3 both sides. That is perfect. Divide by 3. 3 into negative 3, they eliminate. So we remain with C. Negative 3 into 12 will give us negative 4. So we have got the value of C. How can we best find the value of A? You remember C, we have got C is equal to negative 4. Where do we substitute this C to find the value of A? In equation 1. In equation 1. We substitute into equation 3. If you substitute in equation 1, there is no problem. You will also have this trouble of making A the subject of the formula. But in this case, we have, so in order to find A is going to be negative 12 minus negative 4. I want someone to finish off this one. This is negative 12 plus 4. Perfect. And what is our answer? Negative 8. Excellent. Now we've got the values of A and C. Okay. Now, after we have found the value of A and C, you come on to our equation, this equation. You want to say, okay, what is the value? So meaning to say our equation is going to be y is equal to, what is the value of A? Negative 8. Negative 8x squared. What is the value of C? Negative 4. This is the equation of the parabola which passes through the stipulated points. Are you following there? This is the equation of the parabola that passes through points -2, -36, and the 1, -12. Are you clear with that? Right. Now, with that in mind, in our next period, I would want you to work on this exercise. Is there anyone with a question pertaining to what I've said so far? Jolisha? Are you following, Jolie? Yeah. Okay. Now, here is your bread to eat. Exercise 5 on page 301 and page 302. If you don't have any question, this is the end of it because our first period is over. Now, in the second period, you answer to this work. Are you following? Right. So, yes. Yes, please. Okay? You want me to go down? Yes, I have a double period. You want up to here? Right, now, can I stop this one?